Ever. But there are times when I hear some names and I decide that no, I'm not ever enough. I am called Senat Nombo. In fact, the Dagati people even claim me. The Frafra people sometimes when they see me, they start speaking Frafra to me among others because of my surname. But if you hear Mawusi ama Mawuenyefia, there's no way you can say she is Dagati. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Sana. Interestingly, I'm not 100% ever.
You are not 100%?
Nope.
Hey, that's your name.
I know.
I know. Okay. Which part? Are you Tong or you are?
Anglo.
Anglo.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, I thought so. I thought as much. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you again, Sana.
I met her at is it Journey to Nkrofo?
Yes, in Nkrofo.
Yes. That's where we met.
Yes, we did.
Yes. I hope all is well.
God's grace is keeping us, but I think we can be better. Right.
Yeah.
I always say I could be better, but yeah.
How's the ministry?
Good question. The ministry is fine. I think we are well, but the pressure is not easy. It's not easy. The amount of work we have to do, the running around, and then if you have somebody like Onaboma Kofibwa, we call him the action man, but behind his back we call him Soja Man with the turbo engine.
Soja Man with the turbo engine.
He doesn't sleep.
Okay.
He's a hardworking man, and he's the kind of person that when he's dedicated to something, he's all hands in, all feet in, everything in. So we're working hard. Yeah.
So you're having to keep up.
Yes, you have
the minister.
To. Yes, you have to. The energy is 200%. So you need to.
You need to
double up.
And keep more.
Yeah.
Wow. But you said it's the pressure. The pressure, is it from the movements or from every day you listen to radio and the subject is...
I think it's everything else. It's everything else. I think for us, we're dedicated to doing what we need to do for God and country. And we're putting in everything that we can. When I say the pressure, I'm also looking at people being simply recalcitrant and saying that they're not listening to what we're saying. And they're not even ready to listen to the alternatives that we have on the table. And so day in, day out, you need to keep up. You need to revise your strategy. You need to evolve. And you need to be 2 steps ahead. So you'll be able to basically put things under control. You talk about an existential threat. We are in a crisis situation. And we accept that we are in a crisis situation, but we didn't just get up and it's not a one-day thing. It took us time to be here. Mining has basically been with us since we knew that we had gold. Gold is, a resource that could be a valuable resource. And so for the longest time, we've always had mining. But we've also had illegal mining when we discovered, we could actually extract the natural resources or the minerals from the earth. We put in measures in place. But people also felt they could also do things their way. So illegal mining has always been with us. We're not saying that's a new thing. But I think over the last few years, over the last 8 years, we basically got sunk into a hole that has put us where we are today. And we're seeing devastation all around us. Our forests, water bodies, and even our forest reserves. Areas where we have demarcated and said, these areas are sensitive areas, and so we're not going into those areas. We're preserving those areas for maybe for studies or to preserve something basically. And we have demarcated certain areas and so we're not going into those areas to do any activity, any commercial activity. Those are the areas that people have decided they want to go and mine. I mean, for me, I don't see. I'm not supposed to say this, but sometimes I'm like, I don't see the sense in this. Nobody is saying nobody should mine. Mining, we understand, is a commercial viable activity. We're not asking anybody not to mine, but under what circumstance or how does it make sense to you to say because of the goal that I want or because of the money that I want, everybody else should die. When I say everybody else should die, if you pollute the water today and we don't have water, what do? We say when the last tree dies, the last man dies. You go, you uproot the tree, basically. You cut down trees. You don't replant. You are creating holes on ground. You are not covering them up. You're polluting the water that everybody else is drinking. You're putting mercury, you're putting cyanide in the water. What do you want us to do? You're basically saying everybody else should die because I want money.
Okay.
And for me, I don't see the sense in that. I don't see the sense in that.
So it's interesting listening to you. I'll come back to some of the things you've said. But first, I wonder how you decide what to talk about. Because you are, when you say you are director of communications, it means basically the minister can sometimes turn to you and say, do you think I should talk?
Yes.
Or not?
Yeah.
Or how should we go about it? If you are the subject of discussion, Monday to Friday, for 9 months, how do you decide when to come into the discussion and when not to? Is that difficult?
No, I don't think it is a difficult thing because I think right from the beginning, our strategy was very clear. We need to be transparent with the people of Ghana.
Okay.
And we need to let them know what we're doing.
Okay.
For me, transparency is key. And in everything else, not just work. Okay. In everything, in every relationship, everything that we do, you need to be transparent. Okay. And being transparent with the people of Ghana also means that we're being honest with the people of Ghana. Okay. And so we tell them what it is. Okay. When we came in at the beginning of the year, the first briefing that we got, I remember sitting in that meeting and I'm like, what's the age? So you're told, okay, we have 288 forest reserves in Ghana. And out of these 288 forest reserves, 44 of them, about 16% of them, have been invaded by miners.
44?
44.
Okay.
16%. Okay. Now, out of these 44, there were 9 of them that had been categorized red. Red.
Okay.
So they had this color charts on the slideshow, and it was green, there was yellow, orange, and then a red. And according to the reports, the red zones we could not enter at all. Now, mind you, under the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, there's a commission that is called the Forestry Commission. Yeah. Their job is to manage everything that pertains to forests in Ghana. Okay. So, our reserves, trees, all of those things. Okay. That sits with the Forestry Commission. Okay. And we have certain personnel that we've recruited as forest guards. Their job is they take data in the forest reserves for scientific work and all of that, monitor activities, they monitor basically the ecosystem in the forest reserves. And they're not able to
somebody wants money, the person's activity has impact on my health. What's the sense? Whereas we are saying that we have not said don't do money, but you could actually do those activities without impacting somebody's health, without impacting somebody's life. What is so difficult about that? Just so that when you're able to undertake the activity, you have a plan that allows you to, if I'm going to dig the hole, I'm going to drill, dig holes here to extract them. So
I need to go back and do what is right. I don't want to do that. Then I create the hole and leave it. Then I go. I create the hole and leave it. I mean, sometimes some of these things, for me, I don't understand what it's about. But that is what we came to meet. And I was talking about the water. Turbidity levels for water treatment. For instance, for mining areas where they use the water before they even discharge the water into the environment, the turbidity should be about 1,500 NTU.
Okay.
Maximum threshold for treating potable water is 0 to 500. 500 max.
Okay.
500 it's even too far. Now we came and the records they were giving us, the turbidities were recording about 5,000, 12,000 NTU. That's basically poison. And so you sit there and we're hearing water treatment plants shutting down in certain areas because Ghana Water is not able to treat the water. The turbidity levels are too high for them to treat. And we don't understand. This is the situation that we came to meet.
Okay.
So we sat back and said, look, in as much as we had a strategy before we even came into the ministry to say, to take over, we needed to look at it, holistically based on the briefing that we had received and then adjust. And we're also clear to say, it's not a blanket size thing. It's not a one size fits all thing that's going to solve it because there are multiple angles to look at it.
Okay.
So we need to understand, first of all, what is the root cause of this menace that we find ourselves. I mean, at the center of it, there's the issue of greed. That's basic. But we also understood that there were a lot of people who were engaged in this activity because for them it was a thing of livelihood. Mm-hmm. And so when you create all the solutions, you need to look at the livelihood.
Okay.
But you also need to look at what are the laws and regulations, regulations around that activity. Mm-hmm. So we came up with a 5-pillar strategy. Okay. First of all, we said, look, let's engage. Okay. There may be people who genuinely don't know the effects of the health hazards and things that, they are causing. There may be people who don't even understand, they have no knowledge of, the process. They want to engage in mining, but they have no knowledge of how to engage. And they see people doing something they also want to do. Okay. I mean, there are multiple ways to look at it. So first of all, we needed to engage stakeholders, chiefs, opinion leaders, MMDCs. So now we have toured the length and breadth of this country. We've engaged as many people as we can. Okay. I think we started with Parliament. We called a meeting, like a mini conference sort of in Accra of all parliamentarians. We engaged them. We've engaged the regional houses of chiefs. We've engaged MMDCs. All the local governments had a meeting with them. All of them, we engaged them. We've engaged academia. Okay. We've engaged even security agencies. Okay. Name it, everywhere. Okay. So that we get people to understand this is what we are dealing with. Mm-hmm. It is not a Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources job. Mm-hmm. It is all of us because it affects all of us. It doesn't affect the people who sit at the ministry. I don't breathe different air from the one that you do. Okay. We all are in this together. So what is everybody's collective responsibility in this? Media, everybody. So we've done that and we keep doing that. Then we also said, while we are doing all of this, we also need to look at the regulations around this activity. Okay. So we looked at the Minerals and Mining Act, 703, the 2006 Act. We needed to look at it. We needed to look at the minerals and mining policy as well, the 2014 policy, and then look at it to say, where are the loopholes in that? Why is it that so I can come and take a prospecting license from the Minerals Commission and say, I'm going to prospect in Latebi Okoshu. 5 years, 10 years, I'm still renewing.
Okay.
It's basically like you have a license in perpetuity.
Okay.
It didn't make any sense.
You're still renewing and still prospecting.
So somebody is holding a prospecting license and is still mining and is actually undertaking actual mining activities.
Really?
Yes, in the name of
under the guise of prospecting.
So we needed to look at that. We needed to look at the local content bit in the regulations. How are Ghanaians actually being empowered to be at the forefront of this mining industry? Because if I sit in Ghana and a large-scale mining company comes in, multinational comes in to say, we're coming to undertake mining, and 80% of top management staff are expats. Basically, all of the resources, all of the wealth of this country is going out. So how do Ghanaians be at the forefront of this? If we had given local contracts to local mining mining support services and things like that, how are we able to empower Ghanaians to be able to undertake that activity? So all of those things came into it. But it's not something that we could also sit in the office and do. So we went from north to south.
All you engaged on all those issues.
Everybody, yes. Everybody. So we go, we show them the policy, we run them through, and then we discuss. And then they bring their input. So it's taken us basically, we started this thing at the beginning of the year. We've just rounded it off. We've engaged everybody, we've engaged academia, we've engaged the chiefs, we've engaged opinion leaders, IEA, as many agencies as possible to be able to get all the inputs and then put it together. So as we speak, the Minerals Commission is compiling all the inputs and then it will be shared with the minister and then it will go to Parliament for the ratification of that. So that's that.
So that's engagement.
That's regulatory reform. So I was talking about engagement.
So you're talking about engagement
and the regulatory reform.
Regulatory and policy reforms.
Yes, there's also a bit of engagement as well. Yes. Then we looked at it and say, but even beyond that, there are also laws. There are laws that say, don't go here, don't do this, don't do that. How do we enforce the laws? Today, as we speak, we are tracking excavators and equipment and earth-moving equipment at the port. Believe you me, 8 years ago, 7 years ago, 5 years ago, people could bring in excavators into this country and they will not register and they will go away with it. We have, as at the last count, I think the last figure that I had, we had about 7,000 excavators in this country.
7,000 excavators? Doing what?
Ask me. So, I mean, there are projects, there are road construction projects, people are doing all of these projects.
But you don't need 7,000 excavators.
The bulk of them were coming in to do mining activities. So now we have said, look, before you even put an excavator on any vessel to come into this country, you need to get a permit from us. Let us know what the excavator is coming to do. Right? When it comes, where is it going? I'm bringing an excavator. I'm bringing in 5 excavators. I'm taking them to Elembele. Okay, no problem. What is it going to do? Oh, I'm going to construct a road from Elembele to within Elembele. No problem. Bring the excavators. Now, when the excavator comes and it gets to the port, we put a tracker on it. And then we geofence it. So if your excavator goes past the jurisdiction of Elembele, going into Jomoro, it ceases.
Oh, okay.
And we have a control room at the Minerals Commission to track and monitor all of that. So that you cannot tell us that you are bringing your excavator to Elembele. And then we find the excavator in Takwa. What is it doing there? That was not what you told us.
So with the technology you have currently, you can disable that excavator?
Yes.
Okay.
And the control room at the Minerals Commission runs 24/7.
Okay.
So they are manning them. They're seeing what's happening within all of that. Then there was also the bit of, I talked about recalcitrance, and there are people who have said, I've heard what people are saying, but me, I don't care.
Mm.
And you go into certain areas and people have created those mini communities in some of the forests.
Yes.
And they are doing their own things. And we looked at countries like Chile and Peru and what they've done with, because look, illegal mining is not a thing that is peculiar to Ghana. Let's not label it. Now, there are other countries that have battled with illegal mining. They've been able to come out of it. So we have to look at best practices from around the world to see what are some of the things that have worked. And we've seen that in the countries that this has worked, they've been able to come out of it. A lot of it, when it comes to the law enforcement bit, it wasn't one security agency job.
Okay.
You needed to have a coordinated effort from all the security agencies.
Okay.
Because on Monday and Tuesday, the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, which is the command center that we have created for this, now conducted some raids. And in some of the areas, if you see the drugs, hard drugs that are in some of these areas, it'll be shocking. So what we have
drugs
done,
that they seized as part of the operation.
when you go there, you find drugs there, and this high incidence of prostitution and all of that. So what we did was, what are the key security agencies that can come together to do this?
Okay.
So you have the military, because in some areas, I talked about the 9 forest reserves. They were not the kind of weapons that the miners had were. So the miners had, recruited these people, these armed gangs to protect them.
Armed gangs.
Gangs.
Okay.
And the kind of weapons, sophisticated weapons and things that these guys were wielding in those areas, it wasn't the type that our Forestry Commission, our forest guards could. Even the police were not able to. So we needed military and we needed tactics to be able to go in there. And so there are times when you need the military. There are times when you need the police.
Okay.
Because sometimes you need to effect arrests and you need somebody to follow through with the prosecution. Before you even go there, you need intelligence. So NIB, you need national security.
Okay.
I talked about drugs, so you need NACOPS.
Okay.
So all of that came.
So all of them get involved
Yes.
in what you're doing.
So we have a coordinated center, the NIMOS.
Okay.
And we have a coordinated center, and it's led by a military man. He's almost 3 decades in the service.
Okay.
And so he, together with the team, they have these platoons all over, scattered across 6 regions, and they keep expanding. So for each platoon, you have some military, you have some police, you have some NIB, all of that come together as part of one platoon. So when they go as one unit. So it is not a case where one person gets up and say, I have orders from above. I'm from national security, and which was the very common one, national security. Because national security sounds like a fancy word. So anybody can get up and say I'm from national security and then go, and then I can come into the studios of Radio Gold and say, I'm coming to arrest her now. And you call national security and they're like, I don't know this human being. Where is he coming from?
You faced that problem in the initial stage.
Yes.
People who...
we've had, there were some, I don't know if you recall, there was an incident where some people had even stormed the Forestry Commission offices and gone to locked it up in Bekwai.
Yes.
And they said they were from national security. National security said they didn't know them.
Oh.
So, I mean, all of those things were part of the reasons why we need to have one coordinated, unit, so that you cannot get up and come from anywhere and say, I'm coming to arrest these people, I'm coming to undertake this activity, when nobody has sanctioned you.
Okay.
And those people take their orders from the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Honorable Manawa Makofibua.
So every member of the task force directly takes their order from the minister?
No, so they are coordinated by Kenelboa.
Okay.
So, but Kenelboa reports to the minister, who reports to, to the president.
Okay.
So the last time they had a training, I think 2 weeks ago, they had a training in Sunyani, and Honorable was very clear. He says, you will take no orders from any big man. The biggest man in this country is His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And he's the one who has sent you.
Okay.
And Dramani Mahama will not come and tell you, release this excavator to this person.
Okay.
So when you are effect an arrest, you hand them over.
Okay.
Nobody will call you and say, release this person or release that person. If somebody comes and if somebody goes behind you people and releases somebody, you rearrest the person, and arrest the person who released them.
Okay.
We had an incident where we had arrested some 11 Chinese people in somewhere around in the Western region. And then after a few days, the gang leader of the Chinese guys came to Kenawa with money. Say, oh, I beg, can you release my people? I'm told you you've arrested my people. Can you release them? And he brought money. He actually recorded him and sent it to me. He actually recorded him and sent it to me. He's like, this is what we are faced with. And so you have people who have dedicated their lives to say, look, we cannot sit down there and allow everybody else to kill us. We are going to support the president. We are going to support the minister to fight this. And that's exactly what we're doing. So that's law enforcement.
So one of the things they doing the law enforcement are confronted with daily is the attempts to compromise them.
Yes. Oh, that one is.
How are you doing? Because that's one of the biggest challenges.
Yes, it is.
The fight that's confronting the fight.
Yes,
money.
It is. But you see, life is not all about money. I'm not saying money is not important. Me, I like money. I'm not saying money is not important. But what I'm saying is life is not all about money. Where we are today in Ghana, we are faced with a crisis. Okay. So you will not, if you allow the love for money take precedence over life. I mean, if you get the money and you die tomorrow, then what next? The land that we came to inherit was the land that our forefathers gave us. What are we leaving for the children that are coming? And that's how we think. And for me, interacting with the team, I have seen unwavering dedication to this. Unwavering dedication to this. They are committed, they are clear. But we also know that occasionally, I mean, that we are human beings. It's a human institution. So we also have a system that allows us to be able to reshuffle the team. And it is not... how do you call it? We've not had, it's not like we have a select recruit that we are working with. We're working with the entire force of the security agency. So as and when we need to reshuffle, we'll reshuffle. So everybody is involved in the fight. Recently, we declared the forest reserves and water bodies as security zones. Now, they have split those areas into 7 zones. And under the 7 zones, they've also further split them into 21 areas. And they are deploying them as we speak into those 21 areas. They're deploying the NIMOS team to those 21 areas to be stationed there permanently. If we find you there and you have not been sent by anybody to go and undertake any activity, and it seems like you're going to undertake a mining activity, whatever happens to you there.
So there's you say you are stationing men in the forest
reserves.
Okay, in
water
forest
bodies.
reserves that you have declared as
security zones.
Okay.
And then the major water bodies. And they've divided them into 21 areas. So they're deploying the team across those areas. What I'm saying is, if we find you there, you're not a forest guard. You are not crossing the river from point A to B. If you find you there in those areas that have been declared security zones, because they are not taking this job lightly at all. And I keep saying we are in a crisis situation, and that is how for them that's their orientation, that we are in a crisis situation, and the soul of this country lies in their hands. And so they are very dedicated to it, to say, if we find you there, and they keep telling us, Madam, people should tell them, if we find them there. Yesterday, there was some videos that were going around on social media, some of the areas that they were burning down the makeshift structures and things. Somebody was trying to record, and the person was recording, and then the thing went boom. And then if you see the way the person shuddered with their phones and everything, and if you see the reactions on social media, Ghanaians are like, this is what we want to see. These people are creating mini communities in certain areas and the vices that are going on in those areas, and it's spreading into our communities, and we need to be careful of that. We created a unit called the Blue Water Guards, which is part of the Blue Water Initiative. Their mandate basically is to, first of all, create awareness in the riverine communities. They are also to basically monitor activities on the water bodies, and then ward off, people who try to mine or undertake any mining activities on the water bodies. Now, as we speak, along the areas that they have, they are present, we're seeing some improvements in the water.
Okay.
We're seeing the murkiness of the water, is improving, and all of that. And they get a lot of support from the NIMOS.
Okay.
Now, that sits with the Blue Water Initiative, which sits with, basically, we are looking at how do we, there was a word that was going around recently, and there was a bit of hullabaloo around dechemicalizing the water. There are chemicals in the water, and we need to, basically take them out of the water. There's a lot of mercury in the water, hydrocarbons, and all of that, and we need to clear the water and get them to their pristine nature. So what do we do? But you can't start immediately with that when you haven't taken the people off the water, which is where the Blue Water Guards come in. So their job basically is to ensure that there are no activities on the water. Allow the water to settle. Allow the water to breathe. Then the scientists can come and do their job. And then the rest of us can get clean water.
Okay.
So that's their job. Then there's also the second leg. And this is, I'm on the fourth pillar now. Okay. The second leg of that pillar, which is the Tree for Life. Okay. I talked about people creating holes, digging, uprooting trees, and then that's it. And then they leave it there. Within our forest reserves, 5,500 hectares of land have been degraded.
Okay.
5,500 hectares. You know the size of a football field?
Yes.
Take 7,500 of them. Not 700.
7,000.
7,500 football fields. Can you picture that in your mind's eye?
Do those forests even exist?
Yes. Yes.
No, I mean, if you have degraded that amount of land space, can you call those places forests?
Okay, good question. Those are supposed to be our forests. Those are supposed to be our reserves.
Okay.
And this is what we have done to ourselves.
So you call them forests because they were supposed to be forests.
Yes, they're supposed to be forests. But as we speak now, they're degraded lands. So now we say we need to reclaim degraded lands. But ideally, those are supposed to be our forests. Those are supposed to be our forest reserves. Okay. So that we also need to do. Okay. But while we have put in all of these measures and we have done all of that, I also talked about one of the core things or at the center of this as lack of access to opportunity or livelihood. Okay. And we're clear to say we've had situations where we've seen tensions, especially in communities, mining communities where they have large-scale companies, mining companies. And these people are born there. They live there. They are bred there. They die there. Then a multinational company comes into town, sets up a mining company. And occasionally they'll take a driver or a security man, one or two people. The rest of the community sits there and they're impoverished. Okay. They're not seeing any improvement to their lives. They are not seeing much, development in their community. And yet they see gold going out of their... And they know the price of gold.
Yeah. Of course you know.
Oh, of course. Everybody knows. Yes. And so it was important that... And you see, some of these things were the things that were creating the tensions in the community where you see the young people come together and they try to, go into the mining companies, and then there's a bit of tension, then there are clashes, and sometimes, unfortunately, we have fatalities and all of that and all of that. And so we needed to look at that and say, whilst we're trying to create livelihoods for them, for these communities, what have we done in the past and what were the lessons? We were in this country where a community mining scheme was proposed. And I could go to the Minerals Commission and go and take a license in the name of, it's easy for me to use Elembele. Okay, let me say Alakble and say, I'm going to do community mining in Alakble. And it's for me,
Yes.
it's not for the community. Then maybe you are the DCE, or then me and you will be in Kahoot, and then we would set up a small mining company and we'll be doing the mining. Then we'll give the chief some coins, and then that is not community mining.
Or was that what you bet?
That is what we came to see. And that's why we disbanded it immediately. It was one of the first things that we disbanded.
That it was taken over by individuals.
It was mainly individuals in the name of the community. Mainly individuals in the name of the community.
You never saw a single community mine that was owned by the community?
Mainly by individuals in the guise of community mining. Okay. So what people said, look, this doesn't make any sense. We disbanded it immediately.
Okay.
So what we have done, what we've introduced is cooperative mining.
Okay.
So me, you, him, we want to undertake mining activities. Maybe we don't have the capital, or we don't have the capacity to be able to do it and to do it well and to do it effectively. So government says, let's come together, let's form a cooperative. I think one of the things that we also, and I talked about engagement a lot, because we also needed to get feedback from the people to understand what their challenges are. Okay. And one of the challenges that we had picked up was people were like, they realized that if they were not even politically connected, they could not even get access to a license. Mm-hmm. And so we said, you know what? The president said, don't even come to Accra for a license. Mm-hmm. We'll come to you for the cooperative mining. So we're deploying a mobile licensing team.
Okay.
So when we come together and we form the cooperative, then the mobile licensing team comes to us. Mm-hmm. They provide us with the license. Now, in an area where there's a large-scale mining company, and a few of them have come on board, have agreed to this and have come on board and have ceded off certain portions of their concessions. Okay. So we have Anglo, we have Perses, Asante Gold, and all of those coming together.
Oh, they are willing.
They are willing to cede off portions of their concessions for the community. Okay. So they are going to provide the cooperative with some support, some logistical support, PPs, things like that. Okay. We also provide them with some training. UMAT is also providing them with. We're also providing a training, for framework by UMAT for them as well. So we give them some form of formal training. We are basically formalizing that sector, and then they're able to undertake the mining activity within, that framework that we have created. That also allows us to be able to have some control. We have some structure. We know what exactly they are doing. We have safety practices in place, because that is also very key. And then there's also the gold board. The gold board also can trace where the gold is coming from, because traceability is key. If you want higher value for gold on the global market today, nobody wants to buy gold that they can't trace. They don't want to buy uncertified gold. And so gold board is able to have, that as well. Where we need investments as well to provide them mini processing facilities as well. We've spoken to a few people who are also very interested in this program, and they're also coming on board to say, we provide them with a processing facility. So we come together, 20 people, 100 people, we come together, we are mining the gold. There's a processing facility, a central processing facility for us that we're able to use to mine the gold. And then Gold Board can buy the gold. Okay. Because we've seen $6 billion from small scale alone. Today, small scale is 52% of the gold market. Yeah. And so it has a potential to grow. Today, with what the guys are doing, and we call it the lotto mining, because they dig here, there's no gold here. Oh, my grandmother said, those days, they used to find gold here. Let me go and dig. There's no gold here. Okay, then they go.
So you see craters all over. Nobody covers it. They just move from one place.
They just move. Mm-hmm. So now, because we are providing all of this, we also provide them with geological data as well. So this is where you're mining. 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, when we went for the journey in Crawford, to Crawford, Adamos had seeded up. There was a pit that there's a pit in Adamos, in the Adamos concession, that has been there for 10 years.
Okay.
They're not mining it.
Okay.
And you see the community there. There's tension between Adamos and the communities around. And you're like, why don't you give it to them? Because you don't find it commercially viable, based on the amount of inputs that you need to put in, on the value of the input that you need to put in to be able to extract the gold. Maybe you see, okay, maybe you are looking for 500 ounces. Maybe that pit is going to give you just 10 ounces. But for the people in that community, 100 ounces is good.
Okay.
So why don't you give it to them? So we just commissioned that project as well. Just around the 20th, 18th, about of September, just around the time we're going for the journey to Crawford. So all of those conversations are going on. Okay. And then we create that structure for them. And then we also empower them to be able to reclaim the land. Reclamation. So there's a bit of reclamation that sits in that project as well. So they know that when I mine here, and I do my activities here, I'm supposed to reclaim the land. Okay. So that framework sits there. Then portions of the proceeds from that goes into the community. So the community decides we want a school. Okay. Then because it is the cooperative, the members of the cooperative come from that community, and they have a framework that allows them to say maybe they're taking 20% of the portions of the proceeds of that activity into the community. The community would decide we want a school. Okay. We want a hospital. We want so that it is not somebody sitting down there and saying, I'm going to do a CSR activity for this community, and you go and build a golf course. I'm sorry, but if I'm living in Tikobo 1, and you're coming to give me a golf course, what will I do with a golf course? It is not a CSR activity. Let me tell you that I want a hospital. Let me tell you I want a school. Let me tell you I want a secondary school, or I want an apprenticeship center or something. So it is the community decides what developmental projects they want in that community, and then they can use the proceeds from the cooperative mining to be able to develop. That is actually community mining. That is what we call community mining, and not one individual sitting somewhere and coming to take a mining lease to go and do an activity and say in the name of the community and say we are doing community mining. So basically, for us, that's the approach that we have implemented, and I think that Ghanaians, like I said, for us, it was important that we are transparent to the people of Ghana. And Ghanaians have seen it. They've seen the results. They are seeing they are seeing the improvements in the water. It's not a one-day thing. All of the water is not going to turn blue overnight. Okay. We know that because the hole that we have been sunk in, it will not take us a day to come out of the hole. Okay. So we are clear to say this is not a 1 year thing. It's not an 8-month thing. But over the last 8 to 9 months, Ghanaians have seen. And we have been transparent every day along the journey. We take them on every day along the journey. One of the things that we also had said was we understand that sometimes some of these people are also financed by certain campaigns. A lot of the young guys you see, they cannot be able to export even one excavator. So who is the one behind them, financing them with excavators? Who is the one behind them, financing them with those kind of sophisticated weapons? There has to be some campaigns. And we were here and there were reports that a certain party executive, Bernard Nchibuesako, was engaged in illegal mining. It was covered up. There are several reports, there are several police reports and things, the reports in the media and all of that. And all of those things were covered up. One of the first things that we did at the beginning of the year when we came was to look into that issue. Okay. And we saw, you've seen the video, the Tano Nimri Forest Reserve, what has been done to the forest reserve. That's betrayal. That's betrayal for all of us. For all of us. And we've seen what's the impact of that on the river. We've seen it. The river that used to feed us, the river that our farmers used to. I remember there was a time, I think when we spoke to the Council of State, and then one chief was saying in his community, people were buying bottled water and sachet water to water their crops. I'm like, how much of that can you buy? So when you sit in Accra and you think that illegal mining does not affect you because you are not in Obuasi or because you're not in Lembele or you're not in Takwa, it affects you. Because when you go and buy tomatoes and they give you one piece for 5 cedis and you complain, where do you think it's coming from? If the farmer in the village is not getting water to farm, to water the crops, what is he going to do? He's going to buy the water. And when he starts buying the water, all of this needs to go into his cost. So when at the end of the day, you are buying the final product and the price is high, skyrocketing high, and you don't understand, it is coming from somewhere.
Okay.
And so all of us need to be concerned. And it is the reason why it looks as if on a daily we are talking. Of course, the media, you guys are helping us talk about it, illegal mining every day. But we at the ministry are also clear to say, we are telling the people of Ghana what it is. This is what we came to meet. This is what we are working with. So work with us. And let's do this together.
When you're talking about campaigns, I was wondering, because the story even told about the gang leader who came with money. The very first question one of my people who was watching us asked, what happened to him?
Oh, he was arrested. He's been arrested.
Okay.
He's been arrested. I think I need to follow up on that particular, but I know that he was, because he was arrested on the spot with the money and everything.
Okay.
He was arrested. We're not joking.
So anybody you identify as being a financier,
yes, you would be arrested and you will be prosecuted. We are clear on that. We are not shielding anybody. This is devoid of political colorization. We are not shielding anybody. Whether you're NPP, whether you're NDC, whether you are CPP, whether you are QPP or RPP or whatever, don't undertake illegal mining. There are pathways to undertaking mining. Look, we're not saying that nobody should undertake in mining activities. Because
you're not telling me party people, because they say
it's not about party people. No, it's not about. You see, and that's where for me as a person, and this is my personal conviction. If you're a party person, your party is in power. Is this not the time to actually come and get a license? Because one of the complaints that we had was people were saying, if they were not politically connected, they could not have access to a license. So if really that was the case, and your party is in power, what prevents you from getting a license? Do you get the logic? I'm not saying that we are giving license to party people, but I'm saying that if that is the logic, then it should be easier for a party person to actually get legal documentation to do mining. So a party person should not even be seen to be doing illegal mining. I don't know if you get the picture I'm trying to paint. And for us, because we have said that we are, for the cooperatives like this, we are not asking what party card you are holding.
Okay. You must be a member of the community.
You are a member of the community. Okay. You are interested in mining. All of you are coming together. Whether you are RPP or QPP, who cares? You are a Ghanaian at the end of the day. The most important thing is you're a Ghanaian. You are from that community. You want to engage in mining. And you do it. And we need especially the support of the chiefs.
Okay.
The local leaders. I've had a few chiefs come to the office to say there are these areas within my community that I know is viable. I know has gold. I mean, we've done a few tests here and there, and galamseyers have come, and we refuse to. And I commend those chiefs. But for those ones who are saying, it is my land, I'm giving it to the guys to do galamsey, when we find you, arrest you. It doesn't matter if you're a chief.
They say so.
Oh, I mean,
it is their land.
Yes.
So they determine what happens to that
land.
Who
will arrest you? Me, I'm saying it here. Who will arrest you?
But so far, has the state been able to stamp its authority? Because for you to walk into office, then the very first thing you are told is that this forest is a no-go area. That forest you're talking, and the person was talking to a minister of the state of Ghana that you can't go there. You can't go there. Have you been able to stamp your authority?
Oh yes, we have reclaimed all those forest reserves. All those Jimera extension area, Offin shelter belts, Desiree, Asenayo, there are about 9. We have reclaimed all of those.
Okay. And we've taken over all of
those. So now they are in our possession. So our forest guards are able to go in there. 2 weeks ago, I think the area to forest reserve, which is in the Offin shelter belt, some people had gone in there. And then 9 months had gone there to flush them out. Then I think after a few days, I don't know if it was a different squad. They tried going in there. They were arrested. 9 of them. They were arrested
Okay.
immediately. The same day they went there, the same day we got them.
Okay.
And then they were sent to police station in Kumasi. They have been brought to Accra for prosecution. Last Monday or so, they were brought to Accra. 4 of them are in Kotobabi, 5 of them are in cantonments, and they're going to be prosecuted. We are not resting.
And there's the part of, majority of the time, I think when people see what had happened to their land, they still feel that little has gone on to stop it. But some of those lands, you realize that the people are no longer mining there, just that there's not been reclamation. So the land had not been. How far are you going with this?
The reclamation, Senna, look, reclamation is ongoing, but I tell you, it's expensive.
Okay.
Basic reclamation within the forest reserves, the cost that we are getting, it's about $30,000 to $50,000 per hectare.
$30,000 to $50,000 per hectare.
Yes, we are talking 5,500 hectares. It's expensive.
Okay.
And which is why I'm like, why do we even do this to ourselves in the first place? To start with, why are we even doing this to ourselves? And you need to get there are trees that are able to absorb the toxins and things like that. So those trees you can plant. But some of them, if you plant, you can't even use them for agricultural production.
Okay.
Because if you go and plant cocoa there, it means you're going to be eating mercury-laced cocoa. And we can't do that. And you can't even sell that on the international market. Okay. In 2024, our cocoa production plummeted. We went from like 1 million to about 400,000 per ton, tons because of this.
Okay.
So and you see, for me, what I'm saying is the implications on all of this, it cuts across all sectors, health, agric, everything. So we as a people, we need to sit down and ask ourselves, what do we want to do? What do we want to do? If the government had said nobody should engage in mining and people were being, all of that, maybe logically or objectively, you sit back and say, maybe it's because government has said that. That is why they are doing this. So it's understandable.
But they're allowed to.
But you're allowed to mine. That is where me sometimes I get my frustration comes from, because I'm like, you are allowed to mine. The people I have the biggest problem with are the people who sank us in the hole and they sit on air and they make noise.
Okay.
You sat in this country. We gave you power for 8 years, and you turned this country into this mess. Then you go and sit on radio and you go and sit on air and you are making noise. I'm sorry. When my minister says you guys should give us a break, he knows what he's saying. Give us a break. Give us a break. But I think that the people of Ghana appreciate that we are doing everything that we can, and we are seeing the results.
Let me conclude on this one, because everybody is saying, okay, you are showing us the work you're doing, but how soon should we start seeing, okay, so like you said, you just complain about the cost of reclamation and everything. How soon have you given yourself a time frame within which you will say, okay, so if this work continues, by this time, we should see the river bodies clearing up?
So, like I said, for the river bodies, for instance, we are seeing improvements.
Okay.
We have 3 major water basins in this country.
Okay.
Right. All the 3 have been affected.
Okay.
All 3.
All 3.
All 3 have been affected. The most affected is the southwestern one, which is the Ankobra, the Tunnel, those areas. But all 3 water basins have been affected. We're getting reports even on the Volta.
Okay. Volta?
Yes. On the Black Volta, on the White Volta. We're getting reports. So all 3 water basins have been affected. But what I'm saying is, we came from a place where in the last 8 years, the level of devastation, we saw it skyrocketing. So it is not, we're not going to resolve an 8-year problem in 1 year. I'm not saying Galamsey started 8 years ago, but I'm saying that within a period of 8 years, it got worse.
Okay.
So we're not going to resolve that in a year.
Okay.
But with the consistency that we have, with the approach that we have, and the momentum at which we are going now, if we're able to sustain that in the next 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, we will go back to the land. We will go back to seeing the land that our fathers came to give, handed over to us, which is the Ghana that we saw. The Ghana that you're going around and you're seeing beautiful greenery all over the place. And sometimes you are driving and you're like, you're able to breathe because there are trees and you're breathing fresh air. So you can't even. You're traveling. Those times when we're going to the village, you are traveling and you see the trees and you don't even want to use the air condition. You want the windows to be down so you can breathe. So nobody even wants that because there's so much dust everywhere. There's devastation even on the sides of the roads. 9 months is coming after you. Me, I've said it. 9 months is coming after you. So be ready. If you're not going to listen to us, we have heard you. But 9 months will come after you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senna.
It's nice to see you.
Yes.
Mawusi.
Yes.
Mawuenyefia.
Mawuenyefia.
There's only one thing that maybe the Alakla people will not be happy that you use them for the example of mining.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good.
Well, it's interesting how mining has become a matter of huge concern for Ghana as a country. But we wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I pray you find the $50,000 spare. That's a lot.
It is.
It's a lot
It
of
is.
money.
And this is money that could have gone into infrastructural development. It could have gone into building more schools. It could have gone into, improving the lives of ordinary Ghanaians. And we have to use that to do this. Let's not do that to ourselves.
Well, Mawusi is Director of Communications for the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. Her minister never sleeps, so she won't sleep.
I'm not sleeping
She won't sleep. Anyway, we are back tomorrow with another edition of the Gold Morning Conversation. Thank you very much for making time with us today.
Thank you, sir.